With an active start of May, will more severe weather be on the way? I'll be breaking that all down coming up in this video. It looks like some more severe weather is going to be in store as the Storm Prediction Center has already issued an enhanced risk here in the orange for parts of Kansas, as well as a slight risk which surrounds that in the yellow. That also includes a slight risk over here by Virginia and in North Carolina. Now the main risks today are going to be all hazards possible within the enhanced risk area, with a 5% chance here in the red and 2% here in the green, which spans all the way down into Missouri. There is no tornado threat over here in Virginia and North Carolina. There is a damaging wind threat, which is a 30% and a 50% hazard area over here circled in black, and a regular 50% which surrounds that, including over here in the slight risk area over here by Virginia and North Carolina. As far as large hail threat goes, there's also a 30% and a 50% area circled in black over here by Kansas, and a regular 15% surrounding that, and a 50% over here in Virginia and North Carolina, and a 5% area surrounding that as well. Now, as we head off into Hump Day, there's another slight risk for severe weather, which includes states here in the yellow, which includes northern Texas all the way up into southeastern Montana. Now, all hazards are possible again tomorrow, with a 5% chance for tornadoes here in the red and a 2% in the green. As far as damaging wind threat goes, there's a 50% for damaging winds, which includes southeastern Montana all the way down into northern Texas. And as far as large hail threat goes, the same areas are under the gun for that. Now, as we head off into Thursday, there's a bigger area for severe weather, as everyone here in the yellow is under the slight risk for severe weather, which includes Oklahoma all the way up into South Dakota. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the time frame when you could expect the worst and severe weather. Now looking at the high resolution NAM, keep in mind the date and time is up here if you want to keep track. It looks like some severe weather is going to be starting to enter that enhanced risk zone by right around 1 o'clock today. That's going to turn into more of an organized squall line by right around 3 o'clock, and this is where our damaging winds can come into play, as well as some large hail that's going to be packing a punch as well. That's going to turn more of a flooding event as we head to 6 o'clock, and there's already been a slight risk for excessive rainfall. It's already been issued for up to 2 to 4 inches. Definitely if you live in a low-lying area around this area, then please be aware of that. Turn around and don't drown. Now, it looks like damaging winds are going to start packing a punch right around 9 o'clock as severe weather starts to enter Wichita. Severe weather is going to start to wind down. As we look at the timing over here in the slight risk zone by Virginia and North Carolina, looks like it's going to be an overnight event as well. But there's no tornadoes expected. It's just going to be mainly a large hail and damaging wind threat. As you can see, we have some small rain supercells that are going to be packing a big hail core within any of those. So just be aware of that. If you have a car outside you don't want any hail dents on, or anything you don't want blown away. And that's going to lead us into Hump Day. Looks like it's going to be pretty calm out there through the early morning hours and part of the early afternoon hours until right around 7-8 o'clock. We could expect some rumbles of thunder and some severe weather to occur through the overnight hours. There's also another slight risk for excessive rainfall issued within this area as well, for 2 to 4 inches of rainfall. Now it looks like severe weather is going to start to taper down, and that's when we head off into Thursday's threats. Now, we don't know the main hazards just yet for Thursday, but I will have a video out on Thursday breaking down the timing and the hazards, so please stay tuned for that. And make sure you all subscribe down below as well and leave a like if you want to see more content like this. Now, we're going to lower our resolution down to 12 kilometer NAM. Now, it looks like this severe weather event on Thursday is going to be sort of a overnight into early morning event for Friday. Now, let's go and take a look at the significant tornadic parameters. Looking at the tornadic parameters, as we push this forward, looks like by right around 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock today, right around Topeka is where the tornadic parameters are maxed out at. Right around 4 out of 10 on the tornadic scale. In some areas, almost a 5 out of 10. So let's go and take a look at a sounding. I'll show you all what I'm talking about. Now, looking at thermodynamics here on the left side, the bottom left here, looks like the CAPE values are right around the 4,000 joules per kilogram. And what CAPE means is basically it's fuel for thunderstorm development. And looking at the kinematics on the right here, looks like the elevated helicity index is right around a 4. But definitely sustainable thermodynamics and kinematics. And if we look up here at the sounding, here on the top left here, we got some upper 70 degree temperatures with some low 70 degree dew points. So definitely some instability and moisture in the atmosphere within that slight risk and enhanced risk zone tonight. Definitely got an elevated mix layer too, so going to have some clearing out there. That's going to provide some destabilization and not much of a capping inversion either. So definitely it looks like a pretty big tornado day, and y'all better dust off your severe weather action plan. Know where to go when that tornado warning goes off. Probably storm shelter, basement. Keep me watching you in the outside as possible, and never fear, a shelter is near. Now we're going to push off into the tornadic parameters for Wednesday. I don't think Wednesday is going to be that big tornado day. It's going to be mainly an overnight event. Tornadic parameters are at around a 1 out of 10. Really not that sufficient. As we head off into Thursday, really the same story. But either way, whatever risk you are under for the next 3 days, please remain weather aware, know where to go when that tournament goes off, and never fear, a shelter is near. So let's go and take a look at the long-range forecast to see what's coming up as we head towards the middle and end of May. Alright, let's take a look at the future weather models. We're looking at the 500 millibar height anomalies first. This basically shows ridge and troughs. Oranges are ridges and the blues are troughs. Pushes forward, we know we get that severe weather that's going to be happening for the next 3 days. That's what this is down here. And after we get past that, we're going to be in this quiet period for quite some time as a huge ridge is going to be setting up across much of the country. As we head towards the end of the month, though, it looks like another pattern flip is going to be in stores. We're going to be dealing with some potential severe weather out east by the end of the month, and it looks like it's going to be calming down out in Central Plains and out west. Take a look at the simulated radar. We know we got that severe weather for the next 3 days. That's going to bring some flooding down by southeastern Texas. There's already moderate risk for excessive rainfall the next 3 days. It looks like once that severe weather gets out of here, looks like we could be dealing with a lot of rainfall up in the northern plains and down by southern Texas as well. Then we're going to come into a little bit of a calming period before another disturbance starts to set up here by Wisconsin and Michigan. This could bring some severe weather down towards the eastern part of the country as well. And lastly, let's take a look at the temperature anomalies. It looks like it's going to be above averages for much of the country. Blues represent below average and reds represent above average. And it looks like as we head towards the middle and end of May, it looks like we're heading towards a below average pattern. And it looks like the Climate Prediction Center is in agreement with that, as we're going to be below average down here by Texas and below average up here by the northeast. And the reds, y'all are going to be above average up here in the northwest part of the country and the southeast part of the country. As far as 8 to 14 day temperature outlook goes, looks like much of the country is going to be heading towards this below average pattern, except for down here in the southeastern part over here and the northwest part of the country. Now as far as the precipitation goes, it's like the southern part of the country here in the green, y'all going to be above average for its precip. And up here in the northern part, y'all going to be below average. As far as 8 to 14 day outlook goes, it looks just about the same. But it looks like a wild weather patterns in store as we head towards the middle of May, as we're going to be dealing with some severe weather for the next 3 days. So if you live within any of those risk areas, please be weather aware, know where to go when that tornado does go off. Probably storm shelter, basement, keep me all seen you on the outside as possible. And if you live within a flood-prone area within the next 3 days, within the slight risk areas for excessive rainfall, including the moderate risk down by Texas, then please be aware of this and don't drive through flooded roadways. Turn around and don't drown. And it looks like as we head towards the end of May, it looks like a pattern flip is going to be in store as could be dealing with some severe weather out east. So if you liked the video, please hit that thumbs up button. Don't forget to subscribe down below. Appreciate y'all for watching. And until next time, never stop forecasting.